I'm Frank McLean, Executive and Artistic Director at the Grand Opera House, and welcome to with Frank. This is my opportunity to, in a lighthearted way, share with you everything that's happening at the Grand. If you've been to a Grand production, you know that I typically give a curtain speech before each performance. And the title of our program takes its name from the merciless teasing I get from the technical crew for the number of times I say or ah during my speech. So we've decided to have some fun with that. So we've intentionally scheduled this broadcast during happy hour. So please get yourself a beverage, and every time I say or ah, take a sip. Oh, look at that. I just said each one once. So that's 2 sips. 1, 2. Now, if you're a regular viewer of this program, you're probably thinking, what's going on? Frank is usually drinking expired beer. What's with that? Well, today is an alcohol-free program, and I'm drinking a delicious vanilla shake from Happy Joe's Pizza and Ice Cream Parlor on Century Drive in Dubuque. Great pizza and great ice cream. What could be better? Thank you, Happy Joe's. Yum. That was yum, not Oh, but I did just say there, and now I've said it twice, so that's 2 more sips. Today's show is sponsored by Happy Joe's Pizza and Ice Cream Parlor, 855 Century Drive in Dubuque. Now, for you folks out there in Streamland, I don't want you to deny yourself an adult beverage if that's what you've come to look forward to, but I do like a theme, and I expect you to make an effort. So why not try an ice cream drink, like a Brandy Alexander or a Grasshopper? So as I said, you may be wondering, why am I drinking a delicious vanilla shake from Happy Joe's Pizza and Ice Cream Parlor on Century Drive in Dubuque? Well, it's because my guest today is the lovely and talented Katelyn Danielson. Welcome, Katelyn.
Hi, thanks for having me, Frank.
Katelyn, I am so excited to have you here. Even though you are very young and not of legal drinking age, I get to have ice cream, and I love that. So thank you very, very much. Now, Katelyn, have you ever had a grasshopper?
Honestly, no.
Do you know what a grasshopper is?
Kind of.
Well, they're insects. No, but they're also a drink. They're also a drink. It's you don't know how to make a grasshopper?
No.
Well, it's made with vanilla ice cream, green cream de mint, and creme de cacao. Can you say that? Creme de cacao!
Cream de cacao?
Excellent, excellent. I have a very funny story about grasshoppers. Do you mind if I tell it?
I don't mind at all. Go ahead.
Well, when I was in college, I had my college guy friends over to my house, and my mom made us all grasshoppers because there's nothing guys in college love to drink more than grasshoppers. And after she had them made and we were all sipping them, she kept looking for the lid to the green cream de mint bottle, which is green, and she couldn't find it anywhere. And then I looked around, and all my friends were choking back laughter because they were picking little pieces of green plastic out of their drinks. I said, Now, that was a lot funnier when it happened than when I just told you in that story. But I do think you should learn to make a grasshopper. They're delicious. Katelyn, when you agreed to be our guest, oopsie.
Oh.
I told your mom that we'd get you a milkshake from anywhere you wanted, and I found out then that you actually work at Happy Joe's Pizza and Ice Cream Parlor on Century Drive in Dubuque.
Yeah. I've been working there for 2 months, actually.
2 months. How old are you, Katelyn?
14.
14. And what do you do at Happy Joe's?
I'm a waitress.
Wow. That's fantastic. You know, you're an actress and a waitress. Quite often, those 2 things go hand in hand. So I think you're learning valuable life skills. I waited on tables for about, 20 or 30 years.
Wow.
It's an excellent profession. My mother was a waitress, and she said, anticipate your customers' needs. It's the key to being a good waitress. Can you say that?
Anticipate your customers' needs.
I love passing that on to the next generation. What flavor of shake are you drinking, Katelyn?
I have chocolate today.
Ooh, is that your favorite?
Yeah.
Katelyn, can you tell us what makes Happy Joe's shakes so delicious?
Well, what makes Happy Joe's shakes so delicious is, one, they're made with love. I mean, of course.
Aww.
And they're really good. They're creamy. They're just perfect.
Really fantastic ingredients. It makes me want to say just for the sake of doing it. Oh, I did! Ha Katelyn, so you've seen the previous installments, so you've already caught on that every time I say either of those things, we take a drink. Now, you have a special task here. Anytime I say one of those things and don't take a drink, you can stop me mid-sentence, whatever I'm doing, and say, time to take a drink, but you also have to take one too. Will you do that?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's get started. I'd like to thank all the people out there who make this happy, who make this happen, who make me happy too. Michelle Blanchard, our box office manager and marketing director. This whole program was her idea, and she forces me to do it. Tracy Richardson, our technical director, he sets everything up and does, well, everything technical. Austin McElroy is our man for all things streaming, as controlling what you see. And our volunteer extraordinaire is Stephen Doby Hall. He's our cameraman today. So thank you to all of you. Katelyn, you know all these folks, don't you?
Yeah.
You've been in shows with them or been around.
Yeah.
Do you have anything nice to say about any of them?
Oh.
Good job.
Whoops.
Well, about a year and a half ago, I was collecting testimonials for the Grand, and because you're so active here as a volunteer and performer, I wanted you to write one for us, and you submitted one. Would you read that testimonial for us?
I would love to. Kate. Oh. Okay.
We're going to need more shakes.
Definitely. Okay. Katelyn Danielson's testimonial. What she likes most about the Grand Opera House. Tracy and Stephen, 'cause they're like family. They are always there when I need something, and they're so much fun. Katelyn Danielson, middle school student, actress, volunteer, February 8th, 2019.
So you're not a middle school student anymore.
No.
You're in high school now, but
Yeah.
we really appreciate you writing this. Now, when we got this, a lot of people were very surprised that you had such positive things to say about Stephen and Tracy. What makes them so fun?
Well, they're really funny, and they're just like family to me.
They're like family to you.
Yeah.
I don't know what that says about your family, Katelyn, but it's great. We love Tracy and Stephen. Here at with Frank, we like to break up the interview with shameless plugs. These parts of the program, I'm going to need your help for them. Every time I point at you like this, I need to say in your best game show announcer voice, it's time for shameless plugs. Can we try that?
Mm-hmm. It's time for shameless plugs.
Katelyn, that was fantastic. But that was just a practice run.
Okay.
Now we're going to do it for real.
Oh, it's time for shameless plugs.
The Grand Opera House is a 501c3 organization, and now, more than ever, we need your support. Please consider donating to the Grand. You can make a one-time or reoccurring gift by visiting the Grand's website, www.thegrandoperahouse.com. Katelyn, what was your first show at the Grand?
A Christmas Story back in 2016.
That's a fantastic show. Who was your director?
You.
Me?
Yeah.
Was I an okay director?
Oh, you were a great director.
Well, you just have to say that because I'm here. I understand. But you did come back and do other shows, so it must have been a positive experience for you.
Yeah, it was definitely.
It was definitely.
Yeah.
You were lots of kids in that. Anything special? Any special memories?
I remember how we would always have a lot of fun. And I remember during rehearsals when we would like practice doing the pole scenes.
The pole scene, we're going to clarify that a little later. Let's look at some pictures from this one. So let's look at this first picture from A Christmas Story. There you are with a group of children. Which one are you?
I am on the right side, second person in the red coat.
Front row in the red.
Front
And you're
row,
singing
yeah.
A Christmas Carol. This is the very beginning of the show. Now let's look at the next picture. Now this is the pole scene you were talking about. So what's happening here? And that's you. You're looking quite shocked.
Yeah. Well, basically, Flick got dared to
I think
lick
he got
the pole.
triple dog
Yeah,
dared.
triple dogged. And he licked the pole, and now he has a problem because his tongue is stuck to the pole.
Yeah. Have you ever tried that in real life?
Yes.
Did your tongue get stuck?
Maybe.
Really? I didn't know this. This is true facts about Katelyn Danielson.
Yeah.
Exciting to know. Let's go to this last picture from A Christmas Story there. So here you're in the classroom with all your students, and what are you looking at?
We're watching Flick in the scene, Flick has his tongue being pulled off the pole.
Right, we don't really
But-
see that.
yeah,
They talk about it, but we hear a big yow. It's sort of like, ugh, grab and
Yeah.
pull. Ugh. That's something. That's great, though. We had a lot of fun with that. I really loved directing that. You were wonderful in it. But we have to move on now, and it is
Time for a shameless plug.
Save the Date for Rounding Third, a comedy about baseball and fatherhood by Richard Dresser on October 9th, 10th, and 11th, right here at the Grand Opera House. This very funny and often touching play chronicles the journey of two Little League coaches as they battle their way through an entire season from their first meeting to the championship game. Rounding Third will be the first theatrical production to play the grand stage since early March, when the health crisis forced us to cancel and postpone our planned productions. Seating in the theater will be socially distanced and significantly reduced. On October 9th and 10th, the show will also be live streamed for patrons who are not ready to make their way to the theater. Additional precautions are being taken for the safety of our patrons, performers, volunteers, and staff. Celebrate postseason Major League Baseball and a return to live theater with this one-of-a-kind, touching comedy. Tickets for in-person and live-stream viewing are on sale now and can be purchased at the Grand website, www.thegrandoperahouse.com, or by calling 563-588-1305 or visiting our box office. Box office hours are Monday through Friday, 12 to 4. Katelyn, I know Christmas Story wasn't your first theatrical production, and you performed other places other than the Grand. Can you tell us about some other shows that you've done not here and where they were?
Well, actually, my first ever show was at the Bell Tower Theater, and it was actually a Kids Take the Stage camp, and I'm pretty sure it was Gretel and Hansel.
Gretel and Hansel?
Yeah. And
Is
basically...
that a lot like Hansel and Gretel?
Yeah, Hansel and Gretel.
But Gretel gets top billing. Who did you play?
I played Gretel.
Well, of course. Now we understand why it's Gretel and Hansel.
Yeah.
How were you cast as Gretel?
Well, they had a hat, and they put all of our names in the hat, and then they would draw the hat for whoever gets which role, and I got Gretel.
That's fantastic. I like that way of casting. It's much less political than the way we do it here. We should give it a try. Any other shows that you were in?
After Hansel and Gretel, I did A Stone in the Road, and I played Jackie, and we also did where we put our name in the hat.
And that was also at the Bell Tower?
Yeah, it was also at the Bell Tower. And then my third show was Seussical at Rising Star, and I played a fish.
A fish?
Yeah.
That's good to know. Let's take a few. Your mom sent us some pictures in from you and other shows and other things. So let's take a look at this first picture here. Now we call this Tiny Katelyn. Katelyn, are you in a show here?
Not really.
But you got big eyes. You got a star written all over you. How old do you think you are there?
I was probably 5 or 6.
5 or
probably.
6?
Maybe 4.
Maybe young, but you're good. Well, let's look at the next one. This is from A Stone in the Road at Bell Tower in 2015. And where are you in this lineup here?
I'm on the right side in the blue dress.
In the blue dress. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And let's go to the next picture. Now, this is from you in Seussical, but are you in costume here, or where are you at?
I'm actually in costume.
Okay.
It was, yeah.
That doesn't look very fish-like.
We had like little fish sticks.
Fish
or,
sticks like the kind you eat?
No, like we had sticks, and then we glued like fish up to them, and we would pretend
Oh, okay.
like,
So
yeah.
it's like a puppet fish?
Yeah, like a puppet.
Oh, okay, I get it. But where are you in this picture here?
I was...
You look like you're in the theater.
Yeah, in the theater.
And what theater was that?
Oh, 5 Flags.
5 Flags. When I was growing up, it was the old Orpheum Theater, but then it got converted into 5 Flags, and that was the very first theater I ever performed in.
Wow.
Way back in 1977. Well, let's move on. That was a fun little trip down memory lane. Katelyn, I'm going to move here. it's great that you're so involved in theater and you have great personal experiences with directors, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So I know you're a really good actress and that you take direction really well. So, for
Thanks.
example, if I went like this, you would say,
It's time for another shameless plug.
"Excellent, Katelyn! Monday Movie Review, all day Mondays on Facebook. Each week, the talented performers of the Grand Opera House give a mini concert online, bringing the sounds of the music of Broadway to you throughout the day. Each installment has a specific theme for song submissions, and you will not be disappointed by the wonderful tunes they send in. Follow us on Facebook every Monday to see the performances or visit the Grand On Demand page on our website with links for viewing past Monday Movie Review performances. This coming Monday, the theme is Songs About Baseball, because we're doing the show Rounding Third, and that's about baseball. Isn't that nice? Katelyn, now I know you have a lovely voice, and it's
Thanks.
not Monday, but would you sing something for us?
Yeah, definitely.
Great. It could be just a cappella. What are you going to
Yeah,
sing?
I'm going to be singing Opportunity from Annie.
Great. Okay,
Okay.
stand up and give it a go. So where are you going to look? Yeah.
Okay. Under the glow of the very bright lights, I turn my face towards the warm night skies, and I'm not afraid of 1,000 eyes. When they're above 500 smiles, oh, I used to think, what wouldn't I give for moments like this? This moment, this gift. Now look at me and this opportunity. It's standing right in front of me. But one thing I know, it's only part luck, and so I'm putting on my best show. Under the spotlight, I'm starting my life. Big dreams becoming real tonight. So look at me and this opportunity. You're witnessing my moment, you see.
Yay! That was fantastic. Now, I've seen the musical Annie. Is that from the musical or?
No, it's actually from the movie.
It's from the movie.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not really that familiar with this song. It actually almost sounded like it was from Hamilton to me.
Really?
Got kind of a Hamilton-esque feel,
Yeah.
you know. I'm going to take my shot, opportunity,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. Well, that was fantastic. And so we know you've done a lot of stage work. You're a singer, a dancer, but you've also done film work as well. Can you tell
Yeah.
us a little bit about that?
So in 2018, I decided to do a camp at the Scene Studio with Shonda Munson.
Shonda Munson, who was
Yeah.
the mother in A Christmas Story, your first show here at the Grand. We love Shonda. Hey, out
Yeah.
there.
And basically it was called Come Play With Me, and it was a horror film. And in the show, we basically got to come up with all the ideas, and then Shonda and her team would put it all together and make it into the movie. And we got to perform on it, and it was really fun.
Do you still have a copy of that movie?
Yeah, I do.
Could you show it to us sometime?
Yeah.
I'd love to see it. Maybe we could screen it on the big screen here.
Yeah,
That
that'd
would really be
cool.
cool.
Yeah.
That would be great. And were you in any other camps or movies?
Yes, I was. I was also in 2019's Come Monday, and it was the same exact type of thing where we would make the movie, and then we would perform it, and yeah, it's
So that
really
sounds like a
cool.
lot of fun. We have a few pictures that, again, your mom sent
Yeah.
in. So let's take a look at the pictures of Katelyn and her movie career. So this first one looks like every good actress is a headshot.
Yeah.
Really wonderful. You look like a movie star there. Where was
Thanks.
this taken?
It was taken downtown Dubuque on one of the parking lots.
I love the way you're
Parking lot.
casually twirling your hair, like you don't care really what's going on.
Yeah.
It's a great headshot. I'd hire you just from that. Let's take a look at the next picture. This one's from Come Play With Me in 2018. What's going on here? It looks like a creepy. You said it was a horror movie. What's happening?
Yeah, so basically in this scene, a knife falls on my hand and it impales it, and I'm bleeding all over, and it was super fun to film. And
Just
yeah,
stage blood.
yeah,
Oh,
stage
okay,
blood.
good.
Yeah.
And let's go to the next picture. This one is from come Monday in 2019. You're sitting at a desk there.
So the story behind this photo is I'm eating gum in this photo, but my character was kind of the weird character. If you ever seen The Breakfast Club, it was kind of based off of that movie, and I played that one character.
Like Ali Sheedy?
Ali Sheedy, yeah. And
My generation.
in the movie, I found gum underneath the
Katelyn.
desk.
I just wanted to drink.
So in the movie,
You found gum under the desk?
yeah.
And you ate it? And did they really do that?
Yeah. Well, no, it wasn't. It was. I chewed up the gum behind the scenes and then put it underneath the desk, and then yeah, I ate it.
Well, that sounds like a lot of fun. And you have a copy of that movie as well? Maybe we could see, like, we could do a whole Katelyn Danielson screening party here.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have a copy of that.
Well,
Yeah.
let's move on to other shows you've done here at the Grand. After A Christmas Story, what was the next show you performed in at the Grand?
My first musical, well, second musical, Shrek.
Shrek the musical.
Yeah.
I loved Shrek the musical. Who did you
Yeah.
play?
I played a magical fairy.
One of the fairy tale creatures
Yeah.
in the scenes. Well, I really loved Shrek. It was such a fun musical. The costumes, makeup were great. The set was great.
Yeah.
I remember how fantastic the set was painted. Let's take a look at the first picture there from Shrek. There we see you. You're kind of down front there. What color's your costume?
It's like an orange with like a little red
Okay,
tie.
I see you. And you're
Yeah.
in front of the big tree. I love this. I remember when the set, the way the trees moved, and they
Yeah.
were all painted beautifully.
Oh,
And
yeah.
John Little, he's a local artist.
Oh.
He does a lot of our scene painting. He was the primary scene painter for that. Let's take a look at the next photo here, also from Shrek. It's you and the fairy tale creatures. Here you've got a very prominent position. You're standing there. Looks like this is a big dance number. Was that what it is?
Yeah, it
Do you remember
was.
what number this was?
Oh, it was
Freak
number.
Flag?
Yeah, Freak Flag. When we
Freak
started
flag. Did you
to
let your
freak
freak
out.
flag fly?
Yeah.
You sure look like you're doing that. Who's that you're standing next to?
Pinocchio. Who?
Don't apologize. I love it. It's a delicious vanilla shake. Pinocchio. Who played Pinocchio?
Emily Anderson.
Emily Anderson. We love
Yeah.
Emily. Emily is a very talented actress, singer, dancer. She often does props for us, but she's also a wonderful artist in her own right. So you have set me up perfectly, Katelyn, for
It's time for another shameless plug.
Easel Wars, the grand finale on Wednesday, October 14th, live at the Grand and streaming online. 2 artists enter, 1 artist leaves. John Little and Emily Anderson, 2 acclaimed local artists and both regular volunteers at the Grand Opera House. They have spent countless hours working with our technical director to create new worlds on our stage out of paint and wood. Both have already painted once on their own, and in the finale, on Wednesday, October 14th, they will go head-to-head. Each painting created by them in real time on our stage will be raffled off as a fundraiser for the Grand Opera House. Now, these are not stodgy art events, but rather they're both live and virtual audiences are heckling and throwing obstacles, questions at the painters, the artists, as they're trying to create their work, and they're under a deadline. They have to do it in 90 minutes. It's sort of like putting artists into the Coliseum and then releasing the lions. The event is hosted by Dan Haggerty. You've worked with Dan, haven't you?
Yeah.
Dan's a very funny guy. He's our host. Visit Grand on Demand for tickets to either come see it live. We'd love to have you here down here, or watch the live stream of that. There's also on our website, you can find links to donate to either artist or to both of them. Each $10 donation will get you an entry into the raffle to win the paintings that are being created on stage right before your eyes. Easel Wars. Art isn't always pretty. Well, the paintings are really nice, but getting there can be ugly. Easel Wars, Wednesday, October 14th. It's really a lot of fun. I've been to both of them. You got to check out Easel Wars. So, Katelyn, What was the next production you did at the Grand?
It was Willy Wonka Jr.
Willy Wonka Jr. That was in our youth program.
Yep.
So that's generally kids in 2nd through 8th grade performing that. And who did you play?
I played Mike TV.
Mike TV.
Yeah.
Oh, great. What a great. So you played a boy? Or were you a girl? Or were you playing a boy? How did that work? Were you a girl named Mike, or were you a girl playing a boy?
I'm pretty sure I was a boy, but sometimes they would call us Michelle or something like that, I'm pretty sure, if I recall.
That seems rather odd, but Mike TV's a really fun character.
Yeah.
Really fun character. Let's take a couple pictures. Oh, wait, actually, and then after Willy Wonka, you did another holiday show. What was that?
It's a Wonderful Life.
It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah.
Who did you play there?
Zazu.
No, you didn't.
Zuzu.
Who did you play?
Zuzu.
Zuzu.
Yeah.
So who's Zuzu?
Zuzu is a little girl, and the dad, who's the main character of the play, that's Zuzu's dad.
Yeah. So Zuzu has one of the most famous lines in the show.
Yeah.
What does she say?
Every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings.
Oh, I love that. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And you know, your dad in that was played by Stephen Green.
Yeah.
Who is in Rounding Third. And then the dad, the first time you did A Christmas Story, was played by Danny Fairchild. He played the old man. Also, the other guy in Rounding Third, Danny was also Mr. Potter in that. So you've worked with these guys a lot. They're both wonderful in Rounding Third, opening Friday, October 9th. Are you going to come see it? Support your fellow actors? You should really do that. But let's take a look at some of these pictures from Willy Wonka and It's a Wonderful Life. So here, the first picture of Willy Wonka, that's you as Mike TV there.
Yeah.
Looks like you're in your lounge chair. Mike TV was, what are you, like a gamer?
Yeah, I was a major gamer.
Major gamer. Are you a gamer in real life?
If Minecraft counts.
I really don't know what that is. I'm old. It's a game?
Yeah, it's like
Like a video game?
Yeah.
Is it like Pong? Do you know what Pong is?
No.
Oh, you move the buttons and like it plays like ping pong, like you used to be
Oh, no.
This is harder than that?
It's more like Mario, but instead you have like a free range of...
It sounds very complicated. I'm probably too old. I'll never learn how to do that. Let's go on to the second Willy Wonka picture. Here you are, looking into a big TV camera. What's right about to happen here?
I was about to get zapped into a Barbie doll.
The Barbie doll?
Well, not a real Barbie
but a
doll,
tiny,
like,
a little
yeah,
doll. You get shrunk down
in
TV. Well, that's great. Well, let's move on to first It's a Wonderful Life picture. Here you are with Stephen Green as little Zuzu.
Oh.
That's adorable. He's probably drunk in this scene, or what is he doing? He looks very disheveled.
I think that's because
well, he's been so upset because he thinks he's lost his business. I didn't mean to imply that he was drunk. He wasn't. It's just the character is having a really hard time. But then here in the next photo, it's the final scene from It's a Wonderful Life. And there you are, you're being held up, and this is probably the scene where, can you say the line for me one more time?
Every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings.
Well, that was lovely, and I really believe it. But you know what it reminds me of?
It's time for a shameless plug.
135 Live is a weekly concert series happening Friday nights live on the Grand Stage. Every Friday, we will be inviting local musicians and performers to do a 60 to 90-minute performance from our stage with our production team's support. Performances will have a small, socially distanced live audience in the theater, as well as a virtual audience through our streaming options. This week, Friday, October 2nd, we are welcoming Adam and Amber. Adam Beck and Amber Dawn were two incredibly talented singers and musicians who are great friends of the Grand. They've helped us out so many times in the past. I believe they're also newlyweds, so there's no need for them to socially distance. 135 Live concerts and live streams begin at 7:30, and the stream always remains active until the following Monday. So if you don't get a chance to watch it in real time, you can check out the concerts throughout the weekend. For tickets to be part of the live audience or to get access to the live stream, please check out the Grand On Demand page on our website at www.thegrandoperahouse.com or call or visit our box office. Katelyn, you followed up Willy Wonka Jr. and It's a Wonderful Life with another youth production, and then another holiday show. So what was the next youth production you did?
Madagascar Jr.
And who did you play in that?
I played Mason and a piece of steak.
Mason you really are a very versatile actor. So Mason, what is Mason?
He's the monkey.
He's a monkey.
Yeah.
And then Oscount.
Yes.
I want to hear more about this playing a piece of steak.
Whoops.
Delicious.
It is really good.
We're never going to get through this. That's all right with me. Does the steak dance?
Yes, it does.
I snorted. Sorry.
The steak. So basically what happens is in the dream, or Alex has a dream, and he dreams about steak because he likes...
Alex is a lion.
Yeah, Alex is a lion. He's a main character. And he dreams about steak, so I played his steak dancing around stage in his dream.
These are really good skills to have.
Yeah.
Now, in A Christmas Carol was the next holiday show you did. Who did you play in A Christmas Carol?
I played Belinda Cratchit.
Belinda Cratchit. So she's Tiny Tim's big sister?
Yep.
And you also were a narrator in that, right?
Yeah, I was a narrator too.
Who was the director of that show?
You were.
Yes,
Yeah.
good answer. Boy, you look like you were like, no idea. I have no idea who it was. But I remember, I loved you playing the narrator and Belinda.
Oh,
It was great having I adapted that myself, so I was very, very proud of it. I may have been the only person who was, but I really enjoyed it, and I thought your performance was terrific. Let's take a look at some pictures from Madagascar Jr. and A Christmas Carol. So this first Madagascar picture, there you are. I am assuming you are Mason here. What's happening?
Yeah. So in this picture, I'm Mason the monkey, and we've just got caught. So we are on like this ship, and basically those are the penguins behind me in the little jail cell / box.
So you're being taken somewhere. That's how you
Yeah.
end up in Madagascar?
Yep.
And in the next photo here, it looks like you're maybe at the zoo, or I don't know where you're at.
Oh, we're at the zoo, and it's Marty's birthday.
Oh, Marty's a giraffe, or what is Marty?
Marty's the zebra.
Zebra,
Yeah.
sorry. Marty's the zebra. So are you holding a cake?
Yeah, I am.
Well, I'd love cake, but ice cream is really good too. So let's move on to the Christmas Carol photos. This one is from the opening scene, I think, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember what you were saying?
I
don't really remember
No.
either, but it was that opening
don't either.
monologue about
Yeah.
Scrooge was,
Yeah.
It was very good. I remember your line was one of the highlights of it. So I think that's Adam Wacker behind you and Dan Haggerty, two great actors. Let's move on to the next photo here. This looks like you as part of the Cratchit family. That's you with your mom. Who's that? Cindy Caraway?
Yep.
Was it fun being a Cratchit child?
It was really fun. Yeah.
Yeah. It's good. It was fun. Being, it's like really a classic role.
Yeah.
Classic role, really great. And here's this next photo. Why did I put this photo in here?
I am the gravestone.
Well, yes,
Well,
you were.
Yeah.
So I know, I remember I asked you because the tombstone has to roll out at the exact time and roll around stage. So you were the person behind the tombstone pushing it around.
Yeah.
And you did it great. So you could add that to your resume as
Yeah.
well. Dancing steak, tombstone.
Tombstone pusher.
Really wonderful, wonderful. Well, I've really enjoyed taking a little trip down memory lane looking at those photos, but I think
It's time for another shameless plug.
on Fridays before 1:35 Live, it's popcorn in front of the Grand Opera House. We know that you've been missing your intermission popcorn from the Grand's concession stand. Well, pine no more for that fluffy, salty goodness. We have you covered every Friday from 4 to 7. You can get a box of freshly made popcorn in front of the Grand Opera House. And from 5 to 7, you may also meet one of our local celebrities. If you've been coming to Grand shows, you won't want to miss the chance to meet the actors who make all these shows possible. Check out our Facebook event or any of our social media pages to find out who the celebrity popcorn sellers will be any coming Friday. And tomorrow, it's Benji Miller. Benji's amazing dance sequence was one of the highlights from the Grand's production, Rock of Ages. And if we're lucky, he may be wearing his silver spandex leotard. Make sure to stop by tomorrow for popcorn and ask Benji to dance for you. Are you going to come get some popcorn?
Yeah.
Did you see Rock of Ages?
Yeah, I did.
Do you remember that number?
Oh, yeah, I love that.
It was fantastic. He just pulled off the thing and he danced. It was great. It was one of the. It was a great show. It was a highlight amidst a great show. Really wonderful. I loved it. Katelyn, so in your time at the Grand, you've played girls and boys and fairy tale characters and steak.
Yeah.
And you've played fish at another theater and other animals. So you have a wide variety of roles you played. What came next for you?
The Lion King Jr., where I played Zazu.
Zazu! What is Zazu?
Zazu is a bird.
A bird?
Yeah, he's kind of like...
So you played fish, a mammal, as a monkey,
Steak.
and now a bird. You're
And-
really
yeah.
covering all the whole animal kingdom there.
Yeah.
What was your favorite thing about The Lion King Jr.?
It was really fun. I remember... Oh, whoops.
It's okay.
When I played Zazu, there was this one scene where we got to go up on the balcony, and that was really cool just to like see it from
Could you
here.
fly?
No.
You were a bird.
No.
No. That's good. That's fine. I interrupted your story. Go on.
Oh. Well, we basically stood up on the balcony and we got to watch the stage and like say some lines, and that was really cool.
Well, good. I think you probably were really wonderful in that.
Thanks.
Let's take a look at some of these Lion King photos. So here's the first one. This is you as Zazu.
Yeah.
And you, who is that?
That's Gabe Green.
Okay.
Who's playing?
And is he playing the lion?
He's playing
Mufasa?
Mufasa. Yeah.
Mufasa. Okay, so Simba's dad.
Simba's dad. Yeah.
Let's go on to the next picture. Here we've got you as Zazu, and this is, who are you with here?
That's Aiden and Azel.
Okay, and that's Simba and Nala? Or
Simba and Nala, yeah.
Simba and Nala. And let's go to the next one. It looks like poor Zazu got stuck in a cage. What happened?
Yeah, so I'm about to spoil it, so you might not want to, like, listen.
I think they've all seen the movie. You can tell us what happened.
Basically, since everyone thinks Simba and Mufasa is dead, they,
Scar.
yeah, Scar. He rules the land, and because I'm like the servant slash butler, so they put me in a cage.
Well, that's sad. You did get out, didn't you?
Yeah, eventually.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you got out.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want you to. So, Katelyn, in A Wonderful Life, you played Zuzu.
Yes.
And then in Lion King, you played Zazu.
Yeah.
Can you tell me, how are those characters different or similar? And as an actress, did you have a different approach to playing each of those roles?
Well, they were definitely different because Zazu was a bird, and then Zuzu, she was obviously a little kid. And they're different because Zazu, he was more of like the bossy kind of like butler, and then Zuzu, she was more of like the little kid kind of.
Shy.
Yeah, shy.
Different physicality.
Yeah.
Really shows a lot of range
yeah.
there. Katelyn, I just think I'm amazed at the variety of roles you've played at the Grand, and you're always on your mark, and you're always ready to say,
It's time for another shameless plug.
The Ghost Stories of the Grand Opera House, Sundays at 7 p.m. on Facebook and YouTube. Each week, our host, Michelle, takes you through a floor of the theater and shares history, ghost stories, and paranormal proof behind the rumors. Get to know the Grand and its ghostly inhabitants a little better each week. Past episodes can be found and accessed from the Grand On Demand webpage on our website, www.thegrandoperahouse.com. Katelyn, you've been here quite a bit.
Yes.
Have you seen any ghosts at the Grand or had any paranormal experiences here?
I haven't seen a ghost yet, but I have had a weird experience.
What was
before.
your weird experience?
Well, I can't remember which play it was, but one of the plays I was going down stairs for a costume change, and when I walked by one of the rooms, the lights were off, and and then all of a sudden the lights went back on. So that was weird. And then I kept on walking, and then the lights went back off. I look in the room, no one's in there. So then I kind of book it to my dressing room, and then just like try to forget it. And then when I come back into that hallway, the lights were off. So, but like right when I walked by,
And there's nobody else around. You could turn them off and on. Nobody's playing a joke.
Yeah, it was just me by myself because I had to do like a costume change. And then when I walked by that room again, the lights turned on and turned off again. So
creepy.
Yeah.
Very, very creepy. I was once walking down the little narrow hallway down there, and I was looking down,
Oh yeah.
and it was like something hit me in the forehead, and I fell on the ground. But I might have just hit that big beam
I was
that's
gonna
there,
say.
so that might not have been a ghost. That might have just been me not paying attention to where I was going. Well, it's October 1st, and for the past several years, this time of year, we would have been turning the whole theater into a very creepy place we call Terror at the Grand. Unfortunately, due to the pandemic, we're not going to be presenting Terror at the Grand this year, but you've been involved over the past year. So could you tell us what Terror at the Grand was all about and what it was like to participate in that?
Well, Terror at the Grand was a haunted house, really cool. They had light fright, dark fright,
Full fright.
full fright, yeah. And it was a really cool haunted house.
Yeah, it was always a really fun experience. We so appreciated you and everybody that helped out. Let's take a look at, we have some photos of you working on Terror at the Grand and helping out. So in this first photo, what are you doing there? It looks like you're helping build something.
So I'm building dead bodies.
Building dead bodies.
Yeah.
A very valuable life skill. We
Yeah.
teach so much here at the Grand. Well, let's go on to the next photo. Ooh, are you trapped in those cobwebs?
Yeah, in that photo, my mom and we were setting up cobwebs in one of the stairwells.
Ooh,
Yeah.
so were there any spiders?
Yeah, there were a few. Oh,
Let's go on to this last photo. You look
Okay.
pretty creepy here, or at least I hope you're supposed to look creepy.
yeah.
This isn't your headshot.
No.
No. So what is your character?
I was a Children in the Maze, where we were in a
Ooh, in the
corn maze.
corn.
Yeah.
I love the corn.
Yeah, and we'd sneak up and jump scare some people.
It
That
is
was
fun.
really fun.
Well, Katelyn, thank you for being a part of Terror at the Grand. Your involvement is so important. It's always one of the events that really gets our volunteers excited. I'm sad we're not doing it this year, but it truly is one of the highlights of our year. And I especially like it when kids are involved because to me, there is nothing more frightening than children.
It's time for another shameless plug.
On October 30th and Saturday, October 31st, that's Halloween, at 7 at midnight, the Grand Opera House will be showing the cult classic, the Rocky Horror Picture Show. So let's do the time warp again with Brad, Janet, Dr. Frankenfurter, and the rest of the Transylvanian gang on the big screen at the Grand Opera House. With only 4 showings and limited socially distanced seating, you'll want to make your reservations now by visiting the Grad's website or box office. Tickets are only $10. The wearing of costumes is encouraged, and the show goodie bags for the interactive viewing experience will be available for purchase. Come up to the lab and see what's on the slab. I can see you shiver with anticipation. That's something from the show. The Rocky Horror Picture Show at the Grand Opera House, October 30th and 31st. Reserve now. Caitlin, have you ever seen the Rocky Horror Picture Show?
I haven't seen it, but I've heard of it.
It's a lot of fun. Do you think your mom's going to let you come see it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so.
I think it's a lot of fun. You can do the time warp. I'd encourage you to come in costume. Maybe you'd be a nice magenta or somebody.
A magenta?
That's a character. I really hope maybe that's really inappropriate. So come dress however you like. Caitlin, let's get back to shows that you've done at the Grand. What was the most recent show you performed here?
A Christmas Story.
A Christmas Story
Yeah.
again. That's great. So did you reprise your same role, or did you play something different?
I played a different role, actually. I played Helen Weathers.
Helen Weathers. And Helen,
Yeah.
what's she like?
She was the bossy, smart kid.
Really smart,
Yeah.
really bossy. But she was. You were a fantastic Helen, and I think that show had a fun director too, didn't it?
Yeah, you were the director.
Yes, I was.
Yeah.
I keep trying to stump you there, but you won't fall for it. Well, you just can't stay away from that show, and I thought you were a terrific Helen Weathers.
Thanks.
What was it like coming back to a show that you've done before and playing a different character? Was it fun? Was it different?
It was different because, well, that was like
You had a
my
much
first
bigger
show.
part this
Yeah,
time.
it was. I had a bigger part, and plus, it was my first show ever, so I kind of got to compare myself from when I was like that little kid 4 years ago till
Tiny little kid.
last year.
Yes, indeed.
It was, yeah.
Well, let's take a look at some of these final photos here from A Christmas Story in 2019. So here you are again in this first one from the opening caroling scene like we saw earlier, but
Yeah.
now you've made it to the back row.
Yeah.
Is that you in the center there?
Yeah, third one.
Do you remember what were you singing?
It was something with the fa la la la.
Deck the Halls?
Deck the halls.
That's
Yeah.
what- yeah, fa la la. Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
great Christmas. Yeah. In this next one, this next photo,
Oh, I was reading my report card.
your report.
My-
Yes, your
yeah,
book
my
report.
report,
What
yeah.
was your book report on? Do you remember?
What?
I remember you got an A plus.
Yeah, I did.
Of course, Helen got an
Of
A
course.
plus. And in this last photo here, what is that?
Oh, we were in the
The fantasy
in
scene.
fantasy. Yeah, we were in a jungle. And
In a jungle.
yeah, that was right before he shot a snake.
The python. Right.
The python,
Great. Yeah. It was such a great, fun show, and unfortunately, that was the last show you were in at the Grand before
Yeah.
we shut down. But we certainly hope it won't be your last show here. And I hope you're planning on coming to audition for more shows.
Yeah.
You think you would?
Mhm.
Well,
Definitely.
I think you may get a chance.
It's time for another shameless plug.
Save the date, Sunday, October 25th and Monday, October 26th for auditions for the Grand's Christmas-themed radio show. Auditions will be by appointment, and performances will be on November 27th, 28th, and 29th. Doug Donald will direct his own adaptations of some of your favorite holiday stories. Set in a 1940s radio station with live sound effects and musical accompaniment, the production will be presented to a limited seating, socially distanced live audience, and live streamed. The format of the show will allow for the actors to remain socially distant in rehearsal and performances. Sorry, there are no children in this production, but auditions will be open to anyone high school age and above. Additional details will soon be posted on the Grand website, or be the first to know by requesting to be added to the Grand's actor database. So you are in high school.
Yeah.
So you could audition for that if you want. It would mean it should be fun to get people back here and
Yeah.
auditioning. It'll be the first show. I want to say just because I want to drink. So what's high school like in
It's
this
different.
weird, socially different world?
It's really different.
You
like,
don't really have anything to compare it to because you're a freshman, right?
Yeah. It's different though, because at lunch we have these ginormous tables, and only 2 people sit at them,
Oh,
and it's weird.
so it's kind of like my high school, ever sitting alone at a table, but
Yeah.
it wasn't socially distanced. Well,
It
it's not-
was. Yeah.
It's fine. Katelyn, it's been so great having you here as a guest, and I'd like to switch roles for a moment. Could we do that?
Yeah.
You're gonna give me the signal,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna do the shameless plug thing, and then you're gonna read one.
Okay.
So I'm ready whenever you are. It's time for shameless plugs.
The Grand Opera House is a 501c3 organization, and now more than ever, we need your support. Please consider donating to the Grand. You can make a one-time or a recurring donation by visiting the Grand's website at www.thegrandoperahouse.com.
Wow, that was probably the most dramatic reading I've ever heard of that, Katelyn. I'm sure money will be pouring in. Donate for Katelyn's marvelous performance. Katelyn, thank you for being a guest on with Frank. You've been an absolute delight, and we hope you get back on stage at the Grand really soon.
Thanks for having me.
I really have loved having you. Next Thursday, we have a special abbreviated edition of with Frank. We will be going on at our regular scheduled 6 o'clock time, but we will also be doing our final dress rehearsal for Rounding Third that evening. And my guests will be the two stars of the show, Danny Fairchild and Stephen Green. So my interviews will be brief, and while I may again be drinking expired beer, I don't expect the cast to be, because I don't want them to be tipsy before the dress. So until next week, we're going to miss you, and thank you for joining us. Thank you again, Katelyn, for being here on with Frank. And one more time,
It's time for a shameless plug.
once again, we want to thank today's show sponsor, Happy Joe's Pizza and Ice Cream Parlor at 855 Century Drive in Dubuque. Thank you, Happy Joe's. These shakes really are delicious. Also, stay on top of everything that's happening at the Grand by visiting the Grand On Demand webpage on our website, www.thegrandoperahouse.com. Thank you, and we'll see you next week.